Welcome everybody to another episode of the 10 to 2 podcast. Um, it's your host Smith Jones. Glad to make it tonight. Didn't think I was gonna make it. Really was gonna just take the night off, man. I was out trying to make some things shake today, so I'm a little tired. But we gonna do what we gonna do, cause we said we was gonna be here Friday. We here on Friday. That's what matters. So I'm hoping that everybody's gotten through their week. Not a lot of stress. I know how it can be. Turning that corner after Wednesday. People getting on your nerves. About Friday, about an hour before it's time for you to get off, the clock starts slowing down, and you're just like, man, is it ever gonna get here? But hopefully it got there for you. And if it ain't got there for you yet, it'll be there soon. Whatever you do this weekend, I just want you guys to be safe, enjoy yourself, relax. Hello? Oh, goodness, my microphone ain't working. Enjoy yourself, relax, and hopefully, that's what's wrong. And hopefully, things will work out for you. Hello? Hello? Microphone is not working. But anyway, like I said, um, I hope everything work out for you. And with that, I guess we're going to get into the video. I don't know why my microphone ain't working. We can get into this video. Why does it keep you? We're going to get into this video. That's weird. That's crazy. That's working.
Get security for she catch one. Get security for she catch one today, not the no. Walk over here. Come here. Hey, Chris. You said what? You said what? You need to go about your business. 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 I'm telling you, you better go about your business. And this, that's a go about your business. Go about your business. Go about your business. Go about your.
Get your black ass out of my face!
Yeah, you gonna need 3 in a minute. I'm gonna tap and tackle your mother ass. You keep playing with me. You thought this was.
So, if you guys didn't hear it,
Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'll get on you in a minute. Don't worry about it. Hold on. You asking me why I'm screaming and hollering. She walked up to me in the line and said the KKK something. Okay. I ain't letting nothing go. Y'all tripping. Now y'all want me to let it go? Y'all ain't even escort the building.
So what her coworkers said there at the end, let it go. Security or manager or just a coworker was telling her to let go, a death threat. That's what I heard. I heard a death threat. If the KKK is coming for you, do we not have a history of what the KKK coming for you means in this country? I heard a death threat. And quite frankly, under the circumstances of that death threat, I heard a woman who was quite restrained. I heard a customer who was out of control and issuing a death threat. TikTok user.
okay, so that's crazy for her to just tell her that. You can tell on Remember how I got banners from past episodes up here. Um, but she told the woman that the KKK is coming. Now that's crazy because for one, you're pretty bold to tell somebody that. Like that lady could have knocked her out, or she could have really felt like her life was in jeopardy at that moment, and like wait till she got in the parking lot and shot her. Like like I don't think people really be thinking about what they be saying. Really, I just wish that the lady had to just like use a little bit more tact. You know what I'm saying? Like if she had a played along and kind of lured her into giving up more information because I want to know what makes her say that. Really, you gonna tell me the KKK coming? How do you know? You know what I'm saying? I guess you guys got to think about this yourself. Like, what would you do in that situation? Me personally, I'm probably gonna initially laugh, and then I'm gonna try to play dumb. I'm gonna try to pry information out of her because you know what I'm saying. Like, if that's really happening, especially with everything that's going on, I need to figure out what you know because you might be so bold to tell me something that I need to know. You know, I mean, yeah, anger would be a part of how I feel, but I've learned that in some cases you gotta you gotta try to put that to the side and understand the real focus because like she could be a part of some group, online, and they're planning to do something. You know what I mean? And she just felt bold enough to actually say it to somebody black. You know what I mean? She might have been holding information that would have been beneficial to what's going on because like all these hangings and stuff like that, like or even anything in the past, like stuff like that, man, like you never really know who is who and what they're doing. So she could have just left a meeting. She may know somebody who she talked to who be telling her stuff. Like you never know. But yeah, that's pretty bold for her to say that. And I wish that she had got arrested and questioned because you don't just say stuff like that. You know, like if you had said that about another race, I'm pretty sure that somebody would have threatened to call the police. But because the lady is black, and also the lady chose to get super upset about it, it kind of took the focus off of the white lady and put it on the black lady. You know what I mean? And you can see she tried to flip the script the minute the black lady got upset. Then the black, so she tried to make the black lady seem like she was being unruly, she was being threatening. Like, come on, man, think about what you just said. Who told you that you could just say that and it'll be okay? Like, that's just stupidity. I just really wish she had used a little bit more tact and tried to pry some information out of that lady because I think that'd have been very useful. Because man, in this day and age, you don't know who you could be around, grocery store, at your job, your neighbor. Like you don't know what they be doing when they be out and about. You might see them come home with groceries, but they got groceries after the clan meet. You know, you think they going to church, but after church they meeting up at the Cracker Barrel plotting on how they going stringing somebody up or something, or just talking about what they dislike about our people. So moving forward, with all these things going on, man, be careful. I would say that above anything else. Be careful, but be mindful that these type of things could possibly start happening more often, and don't put yourself at risk, but try to make them tell on themselves. You know what I mean? Try to make them expose something valuable, because we need to know. We need to know. Like, that's a part of the game. We need to know. If you bold enough to say it, yeah, really? They coming? How do you know they coming? Who told you they coming? You know what I mean? What day they coming? Shoot. What they riding in? Huh? They ain't got here yet. It ain't real. KKK ain't real. You know what I mean? Just say whatever to try to get them, because when people do stuff like that, they're talking from a place of feeling superior. So when you feel super superior, you could be tricked into giving up some information. So, you know, that's just something that I was thinking about. But it's just it just amazes me though, like how, like I don't even think the lady was like even talking to her, or they had some type of maybe slight disagreement, and you just go straight to the KKK. Like like you, I think people feel like black people are afraid of the KKK. We're not afraid of the KKK. We just don't know who the hell they are. You know what I mean? We don't know who they are, and that's the only problem with it. If we knew who they was, then we would have a totally different story. But because they hide in the shadows, hide behind sheets, hide their faces, then that's where the issue lies. You know. But other than that, we're not scared. We got peoples just like they got people, so we're not afraid of that. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you, if anybody Caucasian sees this, before you decide to jump out there and say something like that, you better be careful. Cause if you just talking out your ass, boy, to the wrong black person, boy, it'll probably be the last day of your life. Or you're gonna feel like it's the last day of your life. They're gonna beat you from pillar to post, stomp you out, and you better hope that they by themselves. Well, you do not throw them words around lightly. You know what I mean? Especially not to no black people. But that's where we at. I think people feel like they can just say whatever without recourse. And she was definitely about to get some recourse, and she picked the perfect place to do it too, in the grocery store, where she can instantly say something crazy and play victim. Ain't that something? Oh, I'm gonna say something nasty to you, and then man, you get upset. I'm gonna play victim. Like man, that's getting old. That's getting old in regarding race issues. It's getting old regarding personal issues, relationship issues, like trying to make people look like they crazy. Like man, people not about to keep letting you play with them like that. Like seriously, man. Like you don't know who got a gun. You don't know who's carrying. She got a kid with her. Like she could have really instantly felt like her life was in jeopardy right then. Oh, so you the KKK, huh? I tell you what, you the KKK. Everybody heard you say it. It's known what they do. How about I make sure that I'm safe when I walk out this store by taking care of you right now? Because I'm pretty sure after that situation, that lady probably stayed in the store and let that black lady leave. I bet she did. I bet she did. You don't say nothing like that and think you just gonna walk out that grocery. Either that or they still argue and words were exchanged after that. Because you don't say nothing like that and think that that shit is gonna be okay. You're crazy. You're really insane. And people are insane. Like I don't know if these people are assuming that I guess because the energy that Caucasians get from Trump and the things that he say and I don't what they think the world is like, and you just get in this spot and just looking at her legs, like she didn't look like she was fit. She didn't look like she was fit to fight. She didn't look like she was fit to walk in the grocery store. She didn't look like she was in shape at all. So she would have man, she would have caught a bad day around the wrong person. I'm talking about, be honest with you, I can't say that she still did because you don't know who else heard her say that. You don't know who else was in the line, because the video kind of cut off with them two. So like, I don't know. Like, I wonder if there was like at a neighborhood store where she always come in, or I feel like the way she did it, she probably didn't even live in that place. She may be in town for a KKK meeting. Who knows? You know. But we just got to be careful out here, man. We got to pay attention to the little slick things people be saying because they'll tell you. They'll definitely tell you what they about. They'll definitely tell you what they about. The KKK coming. You want my address? Huh? I would have gave my address and I would have had a whole squad waiting on it. Pull up if you want to. 'Cause that's really the thing. People think folks gonna live in fear. People don't live in fear. People just like uncertainty. You thinking people won't get down? You tripping. You just tripping out. There's one thing that black folks is good for. That's getting down. That's taking care of some business. So keep right on, keep right on doing that, and think that and think that you can just call somebody and play victim, and they'll come break it up. That's that's the equivalent to somebody trying to pick a fight with you when they know people around is gonna break it up. You know what I mean? They don't do it around the corner. They don't do it when it's just y'all two. They'll wait till there's a group of people around and then start talking trash because they know such and such. You know what I'm saying? They ain't the type to let people fight or somebody establishment. So they gonna try to ease the tension or whatever, and they say their little stuff like it's gonna be okay. And it ain't gonna be okay. It ain't gonna never be okay. Not when it comes to something like this. So just telling y'all, be careful out there. These people, they got a battery in their back. They got a battery in their back. They got a battery in their back, and they thinking that they can't be touched, or they feel like you're going to be too afraid. And that's another thing. Like, because we have these racist issues, that people be feeling like, even if I say something mean, as long as I say something and I don't put my hands on her, if she hits me, I can call the police on her and I'll be okay because I'm white. You know, it don't always work that way for you, ma'am. It don't always work that way for you. But you gonna mess around and do it. And I'm just wondering why it wasn't. Boy, I would have loved to see her face. I'm pretty sure it was a lot of people who would love to see her face. Cause, man, I'm trying to tell you right now. She, if she live in that area, she probably gonna have to shop in the next town over. I'm pretty sure she gonna have to shop in the next town over. Cause I'm pretty sure that sister, every time she go in that grocery store, she gonna be looking for her. She gonna be looking for her, and she probably not gonna be alone since something like that happened. So just be mindful of y'all surroundings, man. If somebody come at you with something crazy, protect yourself. But at the same time, possible, if possible, if you got to move and get out because you feel like your life is in danger, you do that. But if they sitting there running their mouth, try to see what they saying. Try to hear what they're saying. Like, don't let your emotions get to the point where they saying stuff and it's just going past you. Like, they gonna be in that, you know what I'm saying? They told me that I found this out, you know what I'm saying, out last week. Or just pay attention, man. Because they foolish. They foolish. They still running around believing in something foolish, and it's not gonna work out for them, man. This ain't even the same world. Half of them probably got African American people inside of their family. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, all this stuff is talk, very little action. But we definitely got to pay attention. You know, definitely gotta see how people are looking at us. See how people are maneuvering around. Like, I'm pretty sure that lady, when she left the grocery store, she was making sure she didn't get followed. Because if somebody told me something like that, I'm going to make sure I'm not followed. Then I'm gonna check out my window to see if I see any suspicious cars riding up and down the road. Because I mean, you never know. There are some fools that will try to do something, no matter how stupid it sounds. So that's just my take on it. Oh man. Well, I checked my messages. It's just gonna be me tonight, and that's all good. No issue with that. Um, I'm tired. I ain't gonna lie. So this will probably be a really short episode. If I had known ahead of time, I probably would have took the night off. But like I said, Friday, we here. Let's get to the next video.
I need you to snap the fuck out of it. I need you to snap the fuck out of it. Ladies, don't get in the comments talking about, oh, you wasting your time. I get it. But as somebody with two adult sons that are 20 and 24, they need to hear it. You are not, whatever it is you turn on the TV and the music and all that shit, that's not who you are. That's who they want you to be. That's why they own it. That's the reflection that they want to see you as. That's not who the fuck you are. And I understand this shit is hard and embarrassing and it gets to your pride because you can't do what you want to do when you're not in charge of this shit. You're supposed to be this provider and protector, but you got this fucking white man who can pull you over and fuck all that shit up. Listen, I understand that your great grandfather probably thought he had a baby coming out and that baby came out all kind of vanilla chocolate swirl and he couldn't do shit about it. His grandmother, his aunt, his wife, his sister, his daughters taking an essay and he couldn't do shit about it. And if he did, he was up in a tree and he couldn't be there for nobody like that anyway. I get it. That shit is embarrassing and it fucks your pride up, fucks your mind up. But I need y'all to get the fuck up because they got you fucked up. They got you fucked up. You don't need to argue with me. You need to argue with them. Stand the fuck up. Take your goddamn place. Stop letting them tell you who the fuck you are. Okay? If you don't know, figure it out. But it damn sure ain't what I hear on the news. It damn sure ain't what I hear on the radio. And it's damn sure not what I see on the TV. I'm tired of seeing the goddamn dope game, rap game. Every single show they dumping out money and drugs. Fuck that shit. That's not who you are. Okay? Get up.
Okay. Why is we going so slow? Um, what she said, I mean, it makes sense, but as far as like entertainment, like we can't control TV shows that they make. We can choose not to watch them. You know what I mean? If they portraying black men in a certain light that we feel like it is not how we want to be seen, then yeah, we should boycott it. Well, who really going to do it? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these shows is fantasy. Like you see a dude that's a dope boy, he actually make it out the hood with his money. I mean, if you live that life and it didn't turn out for you, I mean, it's still gonna like kind of make you watch. It don't mean that you're gonna go out there and live your life like that. The problem is a lot of these fools think that TV is really real life and it's not. That's a TV show. You know what I mean? First thing I learned as a child was don't believe everything you see on TV. But you got a lot of people to do, and it ain't just you know white people. I mean, a lot of us believe what we see on TV. I don't know why. It's something written by a person. It's made to attract your attention. So they're gonna do whatever. They're gonna have oversaturation of lying, cheating, stealing, and conniving. You trying to sell a show. Why wouldn't you? That's what you're gonna do. The music is kind of the same way. Some of them guys is real gangsters, but you'll kind of know because their music is gonna be so real to who they are that they're really not gonna care whether it's sell or not. They're gonna be more focused on keeping it real. You know what I mean? But the music is kind of the same way. Like some of the artists may know somebody who was in the street. They may have been in the street for a little while and somebody told them to go do something else. You know what I'm saying? Because that theory of dead in jail is a real thing. Like you're lucky if you make it out. And even if you make it out, it don't mean that you're gonna make it out with the reputation you started out with. You might make it out as, man, boy, he went to prison, man. He done calmed down. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, ah man, he's still the same crazy, wild killer he always been. Like it may not be that way. It may be like, man, he got married, you know, he in church now. You know what I'm saying? So like I kind of get what she's saying. Like if you want to portray it for the truth. You know what I mean? Like a lot of guys don't make it out, and some of the ones I ain't gonna say all of them, but the ones that who managed to, man. they had to do some things they probably not even proud of to get it done. You know what I mean? Especially if they made it out with their money, you know what I'm saying? Their reputation, the same love, the same loyalty. Because I mean, you can even look at like rappers, like some of these rappers who say they're in the streets and then they kind of get out, like they don't necessarily get the same love that they came into the game with. You know, when they were struggling, when they was grinding. But you know, that's just another thing. As far as white America telling us who we are, I don't think they tell us who we are. I think we tell us who we are. I mean, you got to think. Okay, I want to say this the right way. You can have a kid, and you can treat your kid one way, and they'll see themselves that way. Then you can treat them another way, and they can see themselves that way. Right from the, you know what I'm saying? Right from the beginning, right from the womb. You know what I mean? Like you can actually put these things in their mind. That's why it's important for us as adults to understand that TV ain't real. That our reality is only our reality because, in a way, that's what we're choosing to be. You know what I mean? Like, granted, if you're in a bad situation, you can't just move to the suburbs, but you can move to the country. You can move somewhere smaller, somewhere where it's less violence, somewhere where instead of it being 100 people in a bad situation around you, it's only 25. You know what I mean? Instead of it being a killing every day, it's a killing every other week. You know what I mean? Like you can make those type of moves. You know what I mean? Because I mean, even if you live in houses like Section 8 is, it's you know what I'm saying? Like it's not going to be great, but it's still a different environment. You know what I mean? Like sometimes just not being in the inner city, you know. But I mean, it all boils down to what you say, what you portray, who you allow your kids to be around, and the things that they say. Because I mean, if you have a son and he grows up around seeing men get love for being tough and being thugs, you know what I'm saying, and that's maybe what they have to do, you know. But he sees it and he sees the love and the attention that they get without even understanding that like they had to be this way. And all that love and the attention they getting, they earned that. You know what I mean? People love them for their heart. People love them because they know if they didn't have to live this life, they probably would have been great anyway. You know what I'm saying? And like without that understanding and all they see is just this personality, then I can see how they can have a distorted image. You know what I mean? But as far as us getting up, I think we're already up. I think we're up higher than what anybody gives us credit for. We just not putting it out on Front Street. We're not putting it on blast. We're not yelling it from the rooftops. You know what I mean? We're more strategic in what we do, the way we move, who we put in our circles. I think that's really what it is. And I think people expect for us to be out here saying, ha ha ha, this is what you thought of me, but this is what I am. And we're not going to do that. That's never been who we are. We still cool and calculated. You know what I'm saying? Aggressive when we gotta be. And I think that that's one of the most beautifulest things about a lot of black men. A lot of these guys you be seeing like getting into certain stuff, man, that's the world they in. Like they can't just turn that off because the next man ain't gonna turn that off. So you can't it's kind of like a gun, right? You can turn your gun in, but what you can do about the person who got a gun? They can still come rob you, they can still come shoot you. So yeah, one dude could turn his thug off and say, you know what, I'm gonna try to change my life. That don't mean the person down the street that you just argued with 6 months ago, or a nigga you beat up 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that they gonna turn theirs off. That don't mean that when somebody say you turned your life around, you got saved, you got kids or whatever it is, that don't mean they gonna turn that off. So you kind of got to stay in that mode until you can figure out how to remove yourself from that environment altogether. And then you still would have to move yourself to a place where you are allowed to develop into the type of person you want to be. So, it's more than just standing up. Like it takes some real financial, physical, mental type actions to kind of change this situation. And I mean, let's just be honest, like who don't like power? You know what I mean? Who don't like power? It's a good show because it got all the things that draw your attention. Money, power, sex, it's there. You know what I mean? And one thing a lot of people don't really pay attention to is like the fact that Ghost represents the dude who seems to have been forced into the life. Like he had to be who he was to get where he was at. You know what I mean? And when he saw a way out, he was looking to take it. And Tommy was more like, yo, this is who I am. This is who I'm always going to be. I'm a gangster. I don't know nothing else. You know what I mean? And they work well together because they're friends. But at the same time, like that's a dynamic in the hood right now. It's just that the fact that the dude who think like Ghost, he can't just say it because you saw what happened to Ghost. Every move he made to try to free himself and his family from that life, you know, his friend's best friend, his brother kept trying to keep him in. His boss kept trying to keep him in. His wife kept trying to keep him in. Like like people don't really understand. Like if a person in that situation they trying to get out, yo, you should be clapping, yo. You should be happy. You know what I mean? But like it's easy for people to say that, but when you meet somebody, this is how they is. This is the life you live. And they say, well, yo, I want to stop. Like this ain't a job. Like this ain't a regular 9 to 5 where I clock in, I get a paycheck, and I go home. Like I could lose my life. So I can come over here and do all of us in our sleep. You know what I mean? Like this could happen to any of us, and people get addicted to it. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard because you start taking care of people, you start getting recognition, you start getting yourself to tables where you wouldn't be at if you wasn't that type of person. And I think that's like one of the biggest keys. Like, how do you skip a certain way of thinking right in the beginning of life? How? How? That's the question. I mean, either you got to be somewhere where shit is slow, or you're gonna have to have some type of money. And it's not really about Dudes standing up. It's about what you got. And then as far as movies, like I mean, what's on TV, you gotta holler at the producers and the networks. You gotta talk to them like, why y'all keep making this? You know what I'm saying? And they gonna say, because people watch it. They're just doing their part of business. It is and if we're the one consuming the content, then you can't get mad at the studio for making it. They're in the money game. You know what I'm saying? They're going to, for them to reach their bottom line, they're going to continue to make things that we want to see. That's what it is. That's what they're going to do. But if your TV got more than one channel, you don't have to watch it. You know, so that's something to consider. Because I can't get up here and you know say black men need to wake up. Like I don't even. Okay, I'll put it like this: the dudes that I'm around, young or old, they all want something better. That's wherever I move it. They all want something better. I can't tell you the last time I seen a nigga that said, "Yo," that said what Pac said on Juice. I ain't S and I ain't gonna never be S. It's been a very long time since I heard somebody say that. Very long time. That's what we used to be at. When you heard somebody say something like that, man, you kind of feel like, yo, it ain't no hope for them. They full forward into whatever the world puts in front of them, and they trying to run straight through it. So I think we are growing past that. It's just not looking the way that people want it to look because I think people can attribute a higher level of understanding with money, and it don't always come with money. It may come with just handling your business. It may come with being able to just provide for your family. It may not lead into something where you have an overflow of money or you're out here giving speeches or you're known in your community. Sometimes you just a regular guy that clock in and clock out and can ride past the dudes on the corner, say what's up, not look down on them, but go handle your business that you think you should be handling. Sometimes that's all it is. It ain't gotta always be flashy. I think that's the biggest issue. We keep looking for the flash. There's a lot of great dudes out here, whether they're at work or they're in the street. Good people. You just gotta talk to them and not talk at them. You gotta talk to them. I ain't met. I haven't met a black man who just wouldn't hold a conversation. They'll hold a conversation with you depending on what you're talking about and depending on how you talk to them. Like if you talk to them like they gangster, they're thug, then yo, of course. But you can talk to them like they're a human being, and you'll realize they're a real person, or they'll just tell you, yo, they don't want to talk about it. And I understand that too, because sometimes you don't want to turn them feelings on because you got to stay tuned in to where you need to be tuned in at, because it's things that you need to do, and it's a certain way that you got to be to go do 'em. So that's the reality that we live in. So I'm gonna say this. Granted, the world ain't where we needed to be. But I think black men and black women are making strides in the right direction if we look for it. Now, if we keep looking where people talking ignorant, of course you're gonna find ignorance. You gotta look for what you're trying to see, not look and see what you can't see. That's ridiculous. That's like you looking for a fish, but you looking on the beach. You're gonna find crabs on the beach. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna find whatever, you might find a dead fish on the beach. You want to see a fish, you gotta look in the water. That's where it's at. So, if you feel like men ain't standing up, Maybe it's because you looking where the person that's standing up you're looking for ain't going to be present. It don't mean that they ain't standing up where they at. It's just not the way you want to do it. So whatever you feel like, that's where you gotta look over there. Then you'll see what you're looking for. Then you'll talk to the brothers you want to talk to. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna never be the same. It ain't gonna never ever be the same all the way across the board. We all human, man, and we not hard to talk to. You just you gotta get out of your. Sometimes you gotta get out of yourself. Show some empathy. Like put yourself in the other person's shoes before you even start a conversation with them. You know what I'm saying? And this is how I know this to be true, because I done seen ministers talk to people who they know are straight up criminals or who straight out in the streets or who hustling or whatever. I seen them talk to them, but they don't try to get them to go to church. They just have a regular conversation with them. They find the human inside of them. They don't put them in a box and say, "Well, this is what you are," and treat them as such. They just held a regular conversation with them. The weather, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be nothing life changing. It don't have to be, I need to get out this corner. Now, how you doing today? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just something like, man, boy, just be careful, man. And just leave it at that. You don't even have to go into no extent or nothing like that. Just make them feel like they are human, man, because sometimes, man, dudes, we get treated like we tools. Go to work, pay the bills, or give me some money. You know what I mean? I don't hear from you till you need something from me. Like, who wants to live that life? That's why I said that's why men are evolving what they're evolving the way that they are, because in a lot of cases, man, when people call you, they only want something. I guess a man, I'm pretty sure we rarely, unless it's somebody who really rock with you, it's very rare where we get a call and it's something for us. Very rare. So y'all should think about it. When the last time you called a dude and had something for him other than some sex, or you, some information, check up on them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gotta be nothing relationship wise. Just, yo, I ain't heard from you, you know what I mean? We was cool. Just want to see how you doing. You know, shit, it's real out here. You know what I'm saying? Like anything. Like just not what you doing, yo. You gonna pull up and burn one with me? Or you going to the club tonight? Can you look at my car? Can I borrow some money? Like sometimes just do something different. Like, yo, you just crossed my mind. I'm just checking to see if you okay. You know what I mean? I seen I seen something happen on the news, and something just maybe you decide to call. You're a good person. You know, sometimes people need to hear that. But I ain't gonna take up no more of your time. And as always, what I say is my opinion and based on some of my life experience. So at the end of the day, it's always for you to decide how you want to move. Just make sure that you're clear and concise on how you want to move, and then move accordingly. So I wish y'all a good night. Peace.